ونستهديه، ونعوذ بالله تبارك وتعالى من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله تعالى فلا مضل له، ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء، واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام، إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم، ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد، فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله تعالى، وأحسن الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم، وشر الأمور محدثاتها، وكل محدثة بدعة، وكل بدعة ضلالة، وكل ضلالة في النار. نسأل الله العزيز الغفار أن يجيرنا وإياكم من عذاب النار. أما بعد أيها الأخيار، ما زلنا بفضل الله ومنه وكرمه في أشهر وأيام وساعات مباركات. شهر المحرم الذي هو شهر من أشهر الله الحرم، أول شهر من شهور الله في سنة الله تعالى، وأول الشهور الحرم. وقلنا أنه بداية لموسم من مواسم الخير ومواسم البركات، على من وفقه الله وأنعم عليه وأرشده، فأخذ هذه الأوقات بجد وأخذها بهمة، فرجع إلى ربه وأناب إليه واستقام على طريقه، فأقبل على الطاعات واجتنب الذنوب والسيئات واجتنب الموبقات، وأعلن توبته إلى رب الأرض والسماوات. وقلنا أن هذه الأوقات ربما تكون حسرة وندامة على من حرم نفسه وأباقها باللهو والعبث وتضييع الأوقات ومبارزة العلي القدير بالذنوب والسيئات والإعراض عن الذكر والصلوات ومخالفة الجمع والجماعات، فأورد نفسه بذلك المهالك وأوقعها في المزالق، وأثار بذلك غضب رب الأرض والسماوات. فهذا الفريق عباد الله هم الذين تركوا أنفسهم عرضة للشيطان الذي أعلن عداوته لبني الإنسان، والذي أقسم غلاظ الأيمان أن يغوي الناس جميعا إلا عباد الرحمن، فإنه علم أنه ليس له عليهم سلطان، كما أخبرنا الله الرحيم الرحمن. قال تعالى: قال رب بما أغويتني لأزينن لهم في الأرض ولأغوينهم أجمعين إلا عبادك منهم المخلصين. قال هذا صراط علي مستقيم إن عبادي ليس لك عليهم سلطان إلا من اتبعك من الغاوين وإن جهنم لموعدهم أجمعين. فاحذروا عباد الله، احذروا رحمكم الله، احذروا مداخل الشيطان، خصوصا في هذه الأيام القادمة والأيام المباركة المتبقية في هذا الشهر الحرام. عسى ربكم أن يرحمكم وأن يتقبل منا ومنكم صالح الأعمال إنه هو الكبير المتعال. Brothers and sisters, we spoke previously in many occasions about the importance of the 4 sacred months in the Islamic calendar, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made them special. He made them different from the others. He made the good deeds multiplied as well as the bad deeds. We are at the end of the very first month of the lunar calendar and the very first sacred month of the year. A month of blessing, a month of opportunity for the ones that are willing to go back to Allah in repentance, the ones that want to re-establish a relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the ones that want to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the ones that want to take advantage of their time and do more good deeds, establish their salah, come to the house of Allah, read more Quran, give more charity, and seek Allah's forgiveness, and use these days, and especially the past days, as a stepping stone for establishing a positive pattern for the rest of the year. But we also said that these seasons can be a witness against and a source of sorrow for the ones that are indifferent to them, the ones that choose to ignore the opportunities that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends their way. They keep on going to in the same daily routines, the same bad habits, the same patterns, and it all revolves around ad-dunya, the life of this world, having forgotten that there will be a day of accountability. There will be a day where they will stand in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and they will answer for their shortcomings. Such a people have let their guards down and they have allowed the shaitan in. They gave him control. They let him run their lives. And this is the subject of our khutbah, inshallah ta'ala. We'll be talking about the doors and the whispers of the shaitan. قال الله تعالى إن الشيطان لكم عدو فاتخذوه عدوا إنما يدعو حزبه ليكونوا من أصحاب السعير. Allah said, verily the shaitan is your enemy, so do take him as an enemy, for verily he only invites his party, his people, his followers to be from the people of the hellfire. Na'udhu billahi min dhalik. But first of all, who is a shaitan? And what kind of creation is he? And why does he hate us so much? All these are important questions for us to answer, because believe it or not, you will be surprised that there are so many Muslims out there that are supposed to know this by heart. They know these things, but they are still confused about a lot of this information. The shaitan, brothers and sisters, contrary to common belief for a lot of people, and especially the Christians, but subhanAllah with them, some Muslims, they say he's a fallen angel. He used to be an angel and he fell. And subhanAllah, the angels are not made to fall. They're made from the light of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They don't have it in them to fall in transgression. Subhanallah. That's why a lot of people get confused. The jinn were a creation of Allah before Adam alayhi salam, 1,000 years or so before Adam alayhi salam. They were made to populate the earth. And subhanAllah, they created so much mischief and they killed each other mercilessly, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent an army of angels of punishment to punish them and to cast them into the islands of this earth. And you'll find this in Al-Bidayah wa Nihayah ibn Kathir in great detail. But subhanAllah, the proof that Iblis is from a jinn in Surah Al-Kahf. قال الله عز وجل وإذ قلنا للملائكة اسجدوا لآدم فسجدوا إلا إبليس كان من الجن ففسق عن أمر ربه. Allah Ta'ala said, we said to the angels, do prostrate to Adam, and they all did except for Iblis. He was from the jinn and he transgressed the orders of his Lord. So Iblis was originally a jinn who was righteous, a jinn who was pious, and that's why he was allowed in the heavens, the samawat. He was allowed to be present and to worship with the malaika, with the angels. And that's why he happened to be there when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave the order for the prostration. And why does he hate us so much? It's because of that incident of the prostration. It's because of his vanity, the fact that he thought that he was better than Adam alayhi salam, and he refused to prostrate out of vanity and arrogance, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala kicked him out of his mercy and expelled him from the heavens. That's why he hates you and I. He hates Adam and his offspring, subhanAllah. And this is the reason why he asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for respite. He asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give him life until the day of judgment, so he can mislead as many of the sons of Adam as he possibly can, and he swore an oath to that, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed in so many ayat in the Quran. So from that day he made it his life mission to mislead all of us and to bring as many people to Jahannam with him as he possibly can. Now the question that poses itself, how can one entity, one creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala do all of this by himself? Well, the answer, he's not by himself. He has generations of his offspring, his own offspring, and his followers to help him with that work. But first of all, let us find out what is the meaning of the word shaitan. ما معنى كلمة الشيطان؟ الشيطان في لغة العرب مشتقة من شطن أي بعد عن الصواب، بعد عن الحق، بعيد بطبعه عن طباع البشر، وبعيد بفسقه عن كل خير، وبعيد بذلك عن ربه وخالقه سبحانه وتعالى. ولذلك يطلق هذا الاسم على كل من تمرد سواء من بني البشر أو من الجن أو من الحيوانات، يطلق عليه كلمة شيطان أنه شطن أي تمرد. ويقال كذلك شطن أي بعد وعوج والتوى، بعد وعوج والتوى، وهذه كلها صفات مذمومة. What is the meaning of shaitan? Shaitan, in the language of the Arabs, comes from the verb shatana. And subhanAllah, you look at this word and you find that other languages, many, let's say the majority of languages out there, they have borrowed this verb. For example, Latin, they say Satan. Satan is a shaitan. And it comes from the verb shatana. In Spanish, it's satanas. Portuguese, satanas. In Italian, satana. German, zatan. And go on and so on and so forth. Every language they have used the verb. They've taken the verb shatana and they named a shaitan after or using that particular verb. Now this verb means to recede and to be far away. Far away from what, you might ask? Far away from the truth, far away from reason, far away from righteousness, and far away from all that is good, and thus far away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Shatana also means to act and to move in a serpentine way, and also to be bent and to be warped, i.e. bending and leaning away from good and righteousness, and bending and leaning away from the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Brothers and sisters, we have to understand something very important. That is that within the general animosity that the Shaitan has for the sons of Adam, he has a special hatred for the believing servant of Allah. Every Muslim that wants to follow the path of Allah and the footsteps of Muhammad ﷺ, know that the Shaitan hates him the most, and he is his biggest enemy. Thus he gives a special attention to the righteous believers. He applies a lot of his resources to try to lead them astray, because they are constantly the ones that get in the way of his plans. That is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala warned us repeatedly in the Quran. You will find the two words, Aduwwun Mubin. Allah mentioning the Shaitan and saying Aduwwun Mubin. He's a clear enemy in so many ayat. Surah Al-Baqarah, ayah 168 and 208. Surah Al-An'am, ayah 142. Surah Al-A'raf, ayah 22. Surah Yusuf, ayah 5. Surah Al-Qasas, ayah 15. Surah Yasin, ayah 60, and Surah Al-Zukhruf, ayah 62. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us ample warning about the fact that he's our clear enemy because of the different doors and the different madakhil that he has, and he uses the different tricks that he has that he uses to mislead the believers from the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if they were to follow him, a'yadhan billah, they will lose in this life and in the hereafter. Brothers and sisters, after knowing who the Shaitan is, we have to know that every son of Adam has a qareen. Some of you might say, well, we already know this. You will be surprised how many Muslims I spoke to when I mentioned that you have a qareen, a Shaitan that's with you. They took it as an insult. They wanted to insult me back. Yeah, you have a qareen. This is not my words, the words of your prophet. You have a qareen with you constantly. You think that Iblis came to take care of you personally? He has others that he sent, subhanAllah. You'll be surprised how many Muslims don't know this information. This qareen is with a person 24/7, constantly studying and learning. What is he studying and what is he learning? His subject of study is you and I. He's learning your strength, learning your weaknesses, what makes you tick, what is your work like, what are your daily habits, the languages that you speak, your patterns, your mentality, everything about you. Why? And by the way, he does so while he's comfortably in a position where he sees you and hears you, but you can't see him and you can't hear him. SubhanAllah. And it's all this information that he's collecting is because he wants to use it against you, to constantly try to lead you astray, to lead you away from the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How do we know this? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and his messenger have told us. قال تعالى إنه يراكم هو وقبيله أي هو وأعوانه من حيث لا ترونهم من حيث لا ترونهم إنا جعلنا الشياطين أولياء للذين لا يؤمنون. Allah Ta'ala said He surely sees you as well as His host and His followers, His helpers, from where you do not see them. والحديث الذي رواه ابن مسعود في صحيح مسلم قال صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم ما منكم من أحد إلا وقد وكل به قرينه من الجن إلا وقد وكل هذا كلام رسولكم صلى الله عليه وسلم إلا وقد وكل به قرينه من الجن وقرينه من الملائكة. قالوا وإياك يا رسول الله وإياك يا رسول الله قال وإياي ولكن الله أعانني عليه فأسلم فلا يأمرني إلا بخير. Subhanallah. It was collected by Muslim on the authority of Ibn Mas'ud. Prophet Muhammad said, there is no one of you except that he was assigned a qareen. A qareen in Arabic is a companion, someone who's always with you. Someone who's constantly with you. A qareen from the jinn and a qareen from the malaika, the angels. They said, even you, O Messenger of Allah? He said, even me, except that Allah helps me against him and He only encourages me and pushes me towards that which is good. He only pushes me towards towards righteousness. Brothers and sisters, we have to understand that this enemy of Allah, an enemy of mankind, the Shaitan, has promised to come to you and I from every direction. قال تعالى ثم لآتينهم من بين أيديهم ومن خلفهم وعن أيمانهم وعن شمائلهم ولا تجد أكثرهم شاكرين. Ya Allah. Allah Ta'ala said, then I will come to them from before them and from behind them, from their right and from their left, and you will find that most of them ungrateful. Subhanallah, ungrateful to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala because of the Shaitan. The Shaitan uses the method of a tadarruj. Subhanallah. Tadarruj. Where did he learn that? A tadarruj is a sunnah of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala that we all have to learn. Doing things step by step. Allah Ta'ala is able and capable of creating the universe in 1 second. Say be and there it is. But yet, He Subhanahu wa Ta'ala created them in 6 days. Then He Subhanahu wa Ta'ala sat on His throne to show us the sunnah that things have to be done, that things have to be done gradually, step by step. Shaitan has learned this lesson. So he comes to you with a tadarruj, step by step. And he will come to you, subhanAllah, he's not going to face you and hit you head on. He's going to chip away at it slowly. He's going to gain ground on you slowly. And every time you follow him on one small thing, he moves on to the next more severe thing. SubhanAllah. That's why he will make minor sins look like a normal thing to you, an act without any consequence, until it piles up on the believer and it destroys his akhirah. You ask any da'iyah or a scholar that constantly travels to the US from a Muslim country, and the first thing that they notice on themselves, that the first time they land in America in one of the airports, what is the first thing they notice? The way that women are dressed or think they're dressed. And they immediately lower their gaze and say astaghfirullah, and they look away. But subhanAllah, after a while of coming and going, it becomes normal. And this is one of the ways of the Shaitan, because you get used to the things that are wrong. You get used to al-ma'asi and they become something normal. روى الإمام أحمد عن سهل بن سعد رضي الله عنه قال صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم إياكم ومحقرات الذنوب فإنما مثل محقرات الذنوب كمثل قوم نزلوا بطن واد فجاء ذا بعود حتى جمعوا ما أنضجوا به خبزهم وإن محقرات الذنوب متى يؤخذ بها صاحبها تهلكه عياذا بالله. It was collected by Imam Ahmad on the authority of Sahl ibn Sa'd. He said that the Prophet said, beware of muhaqqirat al-dunub. What is that? That which makes your minor sins look insignificant, not important. He said, for verily the example of muhaqqirat al-dunub is the example of a people that went down a valley, and each one of them brought his stick, meaning a stick of firewood. Each one of them brought a stick, and they pretty soon were able to gather enough to bake their bread. So he said, then constantly be careful with the muhaqqirat of ad-dunub, because when the person is taken by them, is taken because of them, it will destroy him. It will destroy his akhirah. Na'udhu billahi min dhalik. What is the methodology of a shaitan? Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah mentioned 6 things. Number 1, he comes to the believer and he tries to get him to commit apostasy. This is the first one. To disbelieve in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Al-ridda, al-kufr, iyadan billah. But since that one rarely works, he quickly moves on to the second one. Number 2, since the believer refused to disbelieve in Allah, listen to this one. He tries to get him to worship Allah through what? Al-bid'ah. Ya Allah. Can you believe that? The first step is apostasy, al-kufr, al-ridda, to get away from Islam, to denounce Islam. And the second one, the very next one, is a bid'ah, to get you and I to worship Allah through a bid'ah. What happens when you worship Allah through a bid'ah? It's like you did nothing. You come to Allah on the day of reckoning and it's thrown back at your face. فهو رد كما قال صلى الله عليه وسلم في حديث عائشة. When whoever brings in a new thing and innovates something new in our deen, it's rad. He'll be thrown back right on his face. SubhanAllah. And if a person happens to be strong on the sunnah, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make you and I strong on the sunnah. The shaitan quickly moves to step number 3. He tries to get him to fall into major sins. So major sins come after bid'ah. But if the believer has strong connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and he protects himself from that, the shaitan moves on to step number 4. He tries to get the believer to commit minor sins, but to do it repeatedly, do it on a daily basis until it becomes normal and acceptable to the person's in the person's eyes. It becomes something normal and it sticks with the person. And if he fails in that, he moves on to number 5. He tries to get the believer to waste as much time as possible in the permissible things of the dunya. These are things that are not haram. They're permissible. But he tries to get you to waste as much time as possible in them, forgetting about the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and forgetting about al-akhirah. And number 6, after having failed to get the believer to commit apostasy and fall into bid'ah and commit a major sin and get stuck with a minor sin and waste valuable time, he fails in all of them, then subhanAllah, he gets the believer's priorities mixed. He tries to get them to focus on less important matters of the deen to keep them away from more important things, subhanAllah. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect you and I from the shaitan. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us refuge from the shaitan and to give us the tools to keep him at bay. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه إنه هو البر الرحيم. Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa wala. Brothers and sisters, let's get some more details inshallah when it comes to the doors of the shaitan with the believers, and especially the ones that are strong in their creed. And there are 9 of them. Number 1, animosities. Starting animosities between the believers. And this one, hadith wala haraj. This is the most common one in most communities and most masajid, and inshallah I will do some khutab about this phenomenon of animosities. That you see animosities come out of thin air between the believers, between the ones that are supposed to be brothers in Islam. قال صلى الله عليه وسلم حديث جابر إن الشيطان قد أيس أن يعبده المصلون في جزيرة العرب ولكن في التحريش بينهم. It's collected by a Muslim on the authority of Jabir. Prophet ﷺ said, verily, Iblis has lost hope that the Musallin, the people that worship, the people that pray, would worship him in the Arabic Peninsula. But he tries to start animosity. One of the easiest ways that you see in our communities is sometimes through kids, and this is one of the many examples. It is a normal thing that kids do misbehave. It's part of growing up to misbehave. And it's the duty of every parent to discipline their kids as much as possible. But subhanAllah, a lot of times you find in communities that if someone else besides the parent tries to say something or tries to correct something, then the parent gets sensitive and subhanAllah that's a start for an argument and start for an animosity. SubhanAllah. Wallahi, it is a lot more successful. The upbringing of children is a lot more successful when it's a community, but within reason. Everything within reason. SubhanAllah. This is very, very important. Number 2, al-bid'ah. The shaitan beautifies the bid'ah for the believers, and there are many pretexts. But one of them, one of the most dangerous ones, one of the most dangerous of the pretexts is people that are away from the deen. You say, well, let us just come up with certain things that would look appealing to them, that would make the religion look easy for them. And then when they come back, when they come back, we'll teach them the right thing. SubhanAllah. It is absolutely wrong to build something on falsehood, to build something on batil. Whatever you build on batil will always be batil. Number 3, he plays a trick of putting things in the balance with a double standard. A person that commits major sins, he comes to them and says, these things are not important. As long as you're consistent with your salah, you will be okay. Just look at how many people out there don't make their salah. SubhanAllah. And he comes to another person and that does not make the salah, and he says the opposite. As long as you don't commit any major sins, you will be okay. Don't worry about it. You're not hurting anyone. Even if you don't pray salah, you're okay. After all, ad-deen, mu'amalat, right? The deen is all about al-mu'amalat, how you deal with people. The salah is not important. The same trick, but he reverses. Number 4, at-tasweef, procrastination. Whenever a person tries to repent to Allah and go back to the straight path, he tries to get him to postpone it as much as possible, hoping that a person will die before he does his tawbah, his repentance to Allah. قال صلى الله عليه وسلم أنذركم سوف فإنها أكبر جنود إبليس. Beware of sawfa, the Prophet ﷺ. Sawfa is I will do this later. Sawfa. Beware of sawfa, as it is the biggest soldier of Iblis. Number 5, the trait that we call fake perfection. He tells the son of Adam, a person who is righteous, trying to do the right thing, MashaAllah, you are so much better than so many out there. SubhanAllah. You pray and the others don't. You give charity and the others don't. You fast and the others don't. Take it easy on yourself. All the effort that you already put forth in the worship, that's too much already. Take a little time for yourself and relax. You already did too much. The Jannah is pretty much guaranteed. Do you know that I had someone tell me that? Jannah is guaranteed. Jannah is guaranteed. SubhanAllah. Abu Bakr and Umar were afraid. The major Sahaba were afraid that they might not go to Jannah, even though the Prophet ﷺ told them that they are from the people of the Jannah. They were still afraid. But you have the Jannah guaranteed. SubhanAllah. One of the tricks of the Shaitan, and it works. Number 6, the way that you perceive yourself. And he has 2 ways of using this trick. A, after a person does a few good deeds, the Shaitan tries to make him feel like there is no one better than him out there, which boosts the vanity and the arrogance with the person and prevents that person from doing more, working harder, trying to progress, and he gives him a false sense of security. B, he tries that trick in reverse. Someone with low self-esteem, someone who has committed a few sins, he says, don't waste your time. You already went too far. You are not worthy. How can you possibly face Allah after everything that you did? And on top of it, you have the audacity to make supplication, dua. You make dua to Allah. The nerve. That's how he plays that trick, subhanAllah. Some people that after having committed a few sins. And number 7, doubt. He comes to the believer and makes him have doubt about the path that they're taking. Is it a straight path or is it not? And he tries to tell them, are you sure that you're doing this for the sake of Allah? I mean, you sure you're not showing off? This is not riyah? Because showiness is from the shirk. You're falling in shirk. So he tries that way to get the believer to leave some of the acts of worship or not, to perfect them out of fear and doubt that he might just be falling in riyah or showing off. Ibrahim ibn Adham, rahimahullah, said, I was able to meet 30 of the Sahaba, and all of them feared hypocrisy. And then Harb ibn Qais said, if the Shaitan, this is a good advice, if the Shaitan comes to you during the Salah, and he whispers to you that you're trying to perfect your Salah, he whispers to you that you're just showing off, just perfect your Salah even more, as much as possible, and don't pay attention to the doubt that the Shaitan tries to throw in your heart. And number 8, at-takhweef. he comes to the believers, the ones that want to follow the sunnah, the ones that have a beard, for example, and they look like a Muslim, they dress like a Muslim, and subhanAllah, he starts telling them, what are the others going to think? What are they going to say? What are they going to do? Just shave that beard, get rid of that beard quickly, and blend in. Try to be like everyone else. It is safer for you. Or he tries to scare them with sustenance. You're not going to get a job with that beard. What is going to happen to your children? You're going to be in the street. And he throws all these things to make the person afraid. And number 9, at-ta'weel wa tabarir, interpretation and justification. And a prime example of that, when the people wants to do da'wah, the shaitan tries to get them to sugarcoat and water down the deen of Allah, and give false information, say halal about what's haram, and say haram about what's halal, and something that is maybe, it's not politically correct, and it exists in the deen. He says, no, it does not exist. It is something that is made up. It's those people that made them up. It's not there. SubhanAllah, when you give da'wah, you have to give the truth. Aren't we carriers of the truth? Then let's give the truth. But just put it in a way that is good. Choose your words wisely, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will put barakah in everything that you do. 3 things that, and I'll close with this inshallah ta'ala, 3 things that open that door for the shaitan. I wanted to give you the remedy. Maybe I'll do it in the next khutbah inshallah ta'ala. 3 things that open the door for the shaitan. Al-jahl, ignorance, not learning your deen properly. Number 2, al-hawa, vain desire. SubhanAllah, what a weakness. The shaitan exploits it. And number 3, al-ghafla, heedless. I just want to remind myself and my brothers and sisters, inshallah ta'ala, something that I'm going to do a khutbah about, but just quickly, inshallah ta'ala. One of the things that the shaitan works on, especially with generations that grow up in this country, he gets them to forget about something very important, that is birrul walidain. SubhanAllah. You will find a lot of young Muslims here that are undutiful to their parents. Ya ikhwa, it's enough that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right after talking about His tawheed, وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ, your Lord has decreed that you worship none but Him. At-tawheed, the most important thing, the reason for our creation. And He says, وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا, and then be good to your parents. This is especially young people here, do not forget the dutifulness to the parents. Wallahi, wallahi, you can do as much as you want from the good deeds, but if your parents are not happy with you, then you can forget about Al-Jannah. You can forget about it. If your parents are not happy, Allah will not be happy. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us dutifulness to our parents. And by the way, my own mother is here, alhamdulillah, in the sister's side. فأنا أحيي أمي الفاضلة وأسأل الله تعالى يحفظها ويجعلني من البررة، نسأل الله تعالى يجعلنا وإياكم من أهل البر. فأحيي أمي من هذا المنبر وأسأل الله تعالى يجزي عنا خير الجزاء كما ربيتنا ونحن صغار. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم. اللهم اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وإسرافنا في أمرنا وثبت أقدامنا وانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. اللهم اجعل الحياة زيادة لنا في كل خير، واجعل الموت راحة لنا من كل شر. اللهم آت أنفسنا تقواها وزكها أنت خير من زكاها، أنت وليها ومولاها. اللهم اغفر لنا خطأنا وعمدنا وجدنا وهزلنا وكل ذلك عندنا. عباد الله، إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. وأقم الصلاة.